Live streaming of SDR news coverage at HP Discover has been made possible by Intel Corporation. Check out Intel OpenPort IT, where you can connect with your peers at Intel on industry topics, best practices, strategies, and more. And by Microsoft, where HP and Microsoft are working together, combining their respective strengths to deliver innovative technologies to help advance your business.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage here at HP Discover. I'm Andy McCaskey from SDR News. And those of you who follow SDR News, either at our site or on the Roku, will recognize the gentleman to my left, Christian Verstrate.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, good to see you.
Nice to see you again.
In person as opposed to online.
Well, yeah, things happen.
Yeah, they have. Well, as you know, Christian, if you follow HP Tech Talks, is a subject matter expert in the world of cloud computing. And it has been an exciting day because of an announcement just a few hours ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So we announced a couple hours ago a number of things, but amongst the things that we announced the HP Cloud OS. And you see, I'm not used to the name yet completely, but HP Cloud OS. And the idea is to have an architectural foundation that we announced that is based on OpenStack. You know, we've done a lot of work over OpenStack over the last couple of years. And the idea is, in the view of our Converged cloud, to actually provide a foundation for all of our cloud services, being it private, managed, or public, so that we can easily migrate workloads from one cloud environment to the other. So we've announced Cloud OS at the moment as a sandbox that our customers can use and through which they can understand how an OpenStack-based cloud actually operates, an enterprise-grade OpenStack-based cloud operates. But we're also using it internally and increasingly building it into our products to make sure that we get this capability to start collaboration between and to improve the collaboration and the portability between our different clouds.
So it's not only a way of describing the range of HP Cloud services, it's this ability to shift from one to the other transparently.
That is correct.
That's the main benefit.
That is the main benefit. It's really getting the possibility to say, hey, I run something on a private cloud today because I consider it very, very core to my business. And then in 6 months' time, I may need to start up something else. I don't have the space. So I may say, hey, this one, well, I can afford to put it on a managed cloud, so I just transfer it. And I want to be able to do that extremely quickly. I don't want to have a whole project to actually do a portability. So that is where Cloud OS will really start helping.
Now to review a little bit from our last HP Tech Talk, what are some concerns that people have as they're evaluating cloud?
Well, the two big concerns out of the study that we did, we ran an independent study before Discover actually, and the two key points that actually come up is, one, security and compliance, two, vendor lock-in. And so the capability to be able to consume cloud services from multiple vendors, the possibility to move between multiple types of clouds, really try to address that vendor lock-in problem that many of our customers see.
Is the whole idea, and if you can't move from one vendor to another, you've lost the agility.
Correct, but it's a combination of agility and price points. So people are trying to juggle with two parameters. On the one hand, they want to have the maximum agility. Now, you can get great agility, you just put some more hardware to it, okay? But that becomes very cost-effective. Ineffective, sorry, yes. Costly. And so what you want to do is you want to say, hey, can I combine multiple clouds that are multiple price points in a way that I actually maintain that agility that I want, but at the same time reduce the total cost of running the whole of the environment. Okay. And the way and the speed at which you can actually migrate things is really important here, because when I don't need a lot, I will have a tendency to bring a lot of things back in-house into my private cloud, because that's fundamentally my cheapest option, because I already paid for the servers. But when I need more capacity in that private cloud, I may want to push things back out and start consuming services from a managed or a public cloud.
But the public cloud, I would think, there is so much activity there
Yeah.
that you may be able to get a great price, but that may come back to haunt you in the future.
Well, it may haunt you in two areas. It may haunt you on the one end because you don't have full understanding of the security aspects and how they address some of the security aspects. On the other hand, it may haunt you because you may have less performance than what you were actually expecting because the cloud is very, very used. That plays with it. Yes, that's something you have to take into account. Absolutely.
So that kind of leads into this notion of a trusted partner.
That leads
That's
you in the
able
notion,
to,
absolutely.
to do that for you.
Absolutely, and it leads you into the notion of working with a partner that actually offer the full spectrum, so that you facilitate the migration from one part to the other, and that you also ensure that across those different environments, that partner gives you the best service possible. And it was interesting, we found actually by accident a study on the internet the other day speak about price performance between 5 key clouds, including Microsoft Azure and Amazon. And we discovered, actually a little bit to our own surprise, that our public cloud, on a price performance perspective, is about 3 times better than Amazon. We're not as good as Azure. Azure was the number 1, but we're actually coming in number 2, which is sort of interesting to realize. People are now starting to look at these aspects, which they didn't do before. So that's good. That's good. It demonstrates that the market is very live and that there's a lot of things happening.
So are people concerned about having all their eggs in one basket? Again, from a vendor lock-in standpoint, or from a single point of failure standpoint?
I would say more from a vendor lock-in standpoint, because the single point of failure, actually when you start playing with cloud, you don't have that much, because the clouds have that redundancy. A lot of the clouds have that redundancy actually being built in.
I wasn't thinking so much of technical failure as commercial failure.
Commercial failure, yeah. No, yeah. Okay,
For some
that's
reason,
the point.
The relationship just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a possibility, and that's why people actually juggle across multiple clouds. And then the other aspect actually starts playing there is the whole aspect of people starting to consume SaaS services. Because obviously SaaS services run on a particular cloud, but you don't care about the cloud they run on, you care about the functionality you get from the SaaS service. And so what you now want to do is you want to combine the capability of running your own workloads, the ones that you have developed, that you nurture between your different clouds, as well as consuming cloud services from other clouds. And you don't want to show the whole of that complexity to your end user. You don't want him to have to remember where he needs to go for what, at what given moment in time for what. So what you want to put in front of this whole thing is something that we call a service broker, which is one environment in which the end user chooses the cloud, or the service that he wants to use, and actually get directed to the right service, regardless of where that service actually runs. Whether it runs on Amazon, whether it runs on HP Cloud, whether it runs on our managed cloud, in the private cloud, whether it runs in the SaaS cloud, don't care. I don't want to know about that. I just want to be able to consume.
So now Cloud OS is going to be able to provide this service broker function?
No. So Cloud OS is really the foundation
okay.
that
it's
allows that
underlying
portability. Mm-hmm. We have another tool which is called Cloud Service Automation, which actually already supports Cloud OS. So the two can link together. And Cloud Service Automation actually provide that functionality. So it has a service catalog. It actually may even have multiple service catalogs. If you have a large organization with, for example, multiple different BUs and things like that. And you can hook that up to external cloud services, whatever those are.
You're a prolific author.
Yes.
And I understand you already have a Cloud OS post.
Hey,
on
you have to
blog.
do that. You have to be, these days with the cloud, you have to better be real time, you know?
Exactly. So where should people go to read your post, your detailed post on Cloud OS and some of these other topics?
Well, the easiest way is to go to the blog, and it's www.hp.com/cloud/blog.
/cloud/blog. Christian, always it's
Thank you,
pleasure
Andy.
to have a chance to chat. Hope you have enjoyed it as well. Continue to follow our coverage here at HP Discover.
Thank you.